am showing 7 o'clock. Are we ready to begin? Let's call to order.
Wagner,
Here.
Costavido,
Here.
Iga,
Here.
Flores, absent, Cotsinis,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Sutton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mission statement. Empowering our community by connecting people to information, ideas, and opportunities. It's a new one.
I
First
know.
one.
Said it.
And it's short.
All right. Do we have anyone who wishes to address the board in public comment? If not, let's move on to any written correspondence. Do we have anything, Gina?
No, we don't have.
Okay. Then let's move on to our consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Nothing is removed from the consent agenda. You have my president's report.
Right.
Sorry, it was outside the packet this time. My bad. Does any other trustee have a report? Anyone?
Oh, I have an update from the last meeting. I think I volunteered to ask my daughter about a pony for the petting zoo, and Simone Biles. Simone, unfortunately, has gone back to Texas, so
yeah.
she's not doing lessons anymore.
Good to know, thank you.
Yeah, so she couldn't ask her. But she did say if you wanted a pony for the petting zoo, she'd be willing to bring one over.
Would you
so-
mind sharing her information?
Sure,
Oh, that'd
I'll
be
send
amazing.
it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. That's very cool.
Fun.
Anyone else? All right, then executive director's report. Ryan.
Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to mention one thing specifically on page 13 of your packet. It's the FOIA request. So just so everyone's
Yeah,
aware,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was-
I had it marked, yeah.
everyone here, okay? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we interrupted you.
So the reason that we asked for an extension because it was a very unique FOIA request, and basically what's happening is this LLC is making blanket FOIA requests across a lot of government bodies, now public libraries. Before they were doing a lot of school districts and I think it was community colleges. So we wanted to take our time. We needed the assistance of our attorney to redact some information, because basically what they're doing is they're kind of fishing. They're kind of hoping you make a mistake with this request, and then they'll level this up. So if it looks odd, it is odd, and I just wanted to point out why we needed an extension to respond to the request.
So Ryan, I had a question on page 12 with another FOIA request from AFC. Asked me, so it's a union asking for information. What's your read on that one? What you're thinking?
It's not
We've
the first
received this
time.
one in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
I think I think that the unions are kind of always interested in growing their ranks, and I think they
Right.
maybe use this data to potentially reach out to staff, and obviously we're if staff decided they wanted to pursue forming a union, that's the right of staff. We wouldn't necessarily stand in their way. We would just want staff to be educated on the pros and cons to unions. I will say that there are yes, I've been in a union before at a library. There's some good things about it. There's some bad things about it. So I'll just speak from my own experience. So that's all. We've received that request before, Bonnie. I think every couple of years they do this.
I guess I just saw all three of those FOIA requests when we normally don't really see much of that. And I kind of thought, okay, let's figure this out. Okay. So you're not concerned about that last FOIA request that we were just talking about? From the LLC?
Well, I'm concerned only that it seems like this is a, I'm trying to think what to say here. It seems that based on the pattern of this specific LLC, this individual that runs it is actually looking for a library not to respond or to redact it correctly, thus opening a window to pursue a lawsuit, so to file a small lawsuit, maybe a little bit less than legal fees would be to fight it in court, and hoping the library would settle. So it is a bit of a, I would argue, not using FOIA for what it's intended in terms of government transparency. It seems like someone is using this as an opportunity maybe to pursue some lawsuits. So.
And engaging our staff in gathering up all this information is the other thought I had.
About the third FOIA
Yeah,
responding?
yeah, that one in particular. Yeah,
Just a lot of work.
a lot
I
of
think
work
she's
for
trying
our
to say.
staff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, and we did have to pay our attorney
That was gonna be
legal
my
fees
question.
to help us respond to this, so we did it correctly. And unfortunately, that's using taxpayer dollars. I'm not happy about it. It's worth mentioning that Representative Dan Diddich has filed 4 pieces of legislation to address these types of mass FOIA requests that don't seem to follow the intent of why FOIA was established. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, we'll be supporting those efforts in Springfield.
Okay.
So there are people that are aware of it and are trying to do something about
Okay.
these kinds of loopholes in FOIA. So
Right. Thanks.
Do you have the amount of how much the legal fees are to this point for what the work that's been done?
not yet, Lauren. I should by the next meeting. That we haven't. I don't know how many hours they worked on this, so I don't know at this time, but I will know.
Okay.
I have one question on page 15, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
The staff member who tripped on a shelf. Which shelf? Have we done anything about it? Do we need to do anything about it? Do we have a tripping hazard somewhere?
It was one of the marketplace shelves, the A-frame shelves. A staff member was helping a patron. She was walking over. I think she just lost sight of it. The staff member has been back to work. She is doing okay, all things considered. So yeah, we have looked at it, and it was really kind of not an obvious safety hazard. It was almost like an oversight on the staff members' fault. I don't know, Rebecca or Katie, you want to add anything to that? You also saw the video.
Katie and I both
We
looked at it, and we feel that it was, as Brian mentioned, it wasn't necessarily a safety hazard. It was just
Just
a,
an accident.
it was an
I think it's
accident.
more like she came at it from the wrong angle. There was nothing wrong or broken with the shelf. It's actually a brand new shelf.
Okay.
And she's not broken either.
She is not broken, right?
Okay.
Yes.
The way Ryan you said it was like all things considered, she's okay, but it was not that bad. I mean, like how severe was it?
She didn't get
It says she
medical
didn't get
attention.
medical
Yeah.
attention, but then your response kind of made me feel like it
Well,
was.
she did, without giving away a staff member's personal information. I mean, she did, like at the time, she was able to go home, and she did eventually receive medical attention. And what I mean, it wasn't anything serious. She didn't require hospitalization or anything like that.
Okay.
She did sustain a small injury, but
Okay.
nothing serious.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
I'm just speaking rather cryptically because I want to protect the privacy.
Yeah,
of
no,
that
that's
staff
fine.
member. Just.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Ryan's report? If not, let's move on to old business. And we have a facilities plan update on page 22.
We have Sean Kelly with Nidberg Anderson here this evening, and in addition to what's in your packet, the big piece, of action the board needs to take tonight would be the acceptance of the furniture proposals. Sean, you want to talk about a little bit about this process and how this worked and what you're asking the board to do tonight?
Yeah. Do you have the letter that we were able to send over today?
Yeah,
I can share it if that would be
It's the
easier as well.
Oh, yeah.
Might not be a bad idea, but I think Gina, you
Yeah,
got those
yeah, we have
those printed, right?
Yeah,
Everybody?
it's the second. We have first page.
I don't think I got
Yeah,
it. Oh,
it's-
sorry, it's under my
underneath
text,
all.
sorry.
Sure, sure, sure.
Give me 1 second and I'll pull it up.
Yeah, right.
So it's this letter here, dated February 10th.
It was just buried in our pockets.
Let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit. So, all right, I might actually have you guys up. It's easier when I can see who I'm presenting to. So, unlike the construction side, we put together 5 different furniture packages. We bundled different items within the project into 5 different contracts and requested a government co-op based or government contract pricing, which is a little different than bidding. Illinois allows the procurement of furniture through kind of 2 different methods. One is public bidding, which is one of the ways we got the construction for the project. And then they also have government contracts, things like typical ones are Omnia, TIPS, Sourcewell. These are all co-op based purchasing agreements with the state of Illinois. We bundled packages together to make these more appealing to different vendors or typically vendors who provide proposals for them. Vendors that aren't familiar with book stacks don't like to include them in a general furnishing contract, for example. So we break them up really to get as much participation as we possibly can. So we send this out. Hold on, we send this out to a wide range of furniture vendors. We have basically everything itemized that we went through. They're based on drawings and quantities, a lot like the construction. And then we get proposals back from the different vendors. What you're seeing under the tables below are the different low proposals. Much like in the bidding process, we typically recommend the lowest proposal contract to you. And so, for example, in contract 1, General Furnishings, Hendrickson, the vendor, provided the lowest bid for that package, or proposal, sorry, for that package, and they're using a combination of Omnia, Sourcewell, E plus I, and TIPS contracts to provide those furniture to you at the pre-negotiated state pricing. For package 2, which was mainly included some seating elements, forward space on Sourcewell. Hendrickson again was the low on 3 for this is basically where we put a lot of the children's learning or the TMC furniture that we're looking at. That's all through TIPS. Custom furniture. These are custom furniture is maybe it's furniture more like standard furniture with custom little changes to them to make them more applicable to your project or the library. LFI is the low proposer on that. And then the last one, Bookstacks, Hendrickson came in low with Sourcewell. The nice thing to know is that Hendrickson was able to procure shelving from Space Saver, which is what your standard furniture is in the building. So you now have a little bit of biblo for your display or the A-frames, and then we're keeping Sourcewell for all the standard shelving in the library. Much like the bids, we evaluate the proposals that come in. We look at what they provided. We look at their ability to perform the work, and nicely, everyone that provided a proposal we've worked with in the past, they've done good work for us, and we don't see any issue with their qualifications. We do a summary table below, which kind of shows all the contracts together with the total contract price of $614,000. rounding. We do recommend a small contingency, and in the furniture side, contingency items are generally very limited, but I can give you, the biggest example is, ever since COVID, manufacturers don't pre-test finishes on their furniture. So if we picked for example, in the children's area, we picked some fun patterns for the fabrics, for the vinyls. They will test those vinyls if they work on their furniture after they're awarded the bid, and sometimes they don't pass, so we have to end up maybe reselecting a few fabrics here or there. Sometimes there might be a little bit of electrical or data coordination as we get into the space. So the contingency is meant to be small because usually these are odds and end items that we do need to kind of work through once contracts are awarded. So in terms of the initial budget, based on the base contract, we're a little bit under, which is great. Coming in just under the contingency would put us over if you included that in there, but we're generally, for the total contract, below what we were budgeting. The next is kind of an evaluation of each bidder, or each proposal, each vendor. And then at the end, we made a few recommendations. Since these are different contracts to each vendor, we do typically break them out. But when we write the contracts to you, for example, we'll probably lump Hendrickson's package 1, 3, and 5, if you choose to award it to them, into a single package. It's just easier to manage 3 contracts versus 5. So, but for this purposes, we wanted to itemize them out so you knew the difference. And then we do have authorization for a small contingency to be managed by the library with our assistance. We would basically do all the paperwork, but this would ultimately be your money that you would make the decision on spending or not. Any specific questions about different vendors or anything that was proposed?
Sean, the contingency went from 8,000 to 20,000. The first, is that because now you have all of the figures and that increases?
That's exactly why.
No.
Yeah, we were doing small contingency on the first letter when we only had 2 of the 5 proposals.
Okay, thank you.
One thing I did miss, all of these do come with a bond. So besides the price here, they all include a performance and payment bond. So everyone in here was fully bonded. It will be fully bonded. Ryan, did you include the actual proposals in the packets?
The ones we had went out in the packet on Friday, and then I believe each board member has them at their places.
Just for your use, they include not only the summary of the proposed amount, but they do an itemized breakdown, which is required by each of the co-ops. So they have to list the quantity and the cost that is on the co-op, the negotiated price, so that those things aren't allowed to change.
That's what everyone is looking through right now, Sean?
I'm not sure.
It is, that's what I was verifying.
I'll look through them diligently.
Yeah, I think they're just, because the board members just received these prior to the meeting, so.
Contract 1, oh, look, this is 3.
At least the Hendrickson ones.
5,
Yeah,
it should
okay.
be 1. So one doesn't have the one because
One is the one without one.
Right, one is,
that makes sense. That's okay.
and 135 is on hundred, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are we missing one?
So many of these
No,
chairs don't
the
have
first one
arms.
isn't marked one.
Number one is
It's
this one.
just this one.
Right.
There is a mix, George. We have some
Yes.
armless and some arms.
There you go.
But 1, 3, and 5 are all.
Intentional.
Henderson, right, with the detail.
Yeah, let me
So this
scroll
is
up.
all one.
We didn't put the names here.
Unless it was
So
this
one
one.
should be,
So,
general furniture.
yeah, so, yeah, the descriptive information with the specific furniture that's marked contract 1, is that all of Hendrickson's? So it's 1, 3, and 5?
Good question.
got
That's a good question.
We have 1, we also have 3, and we have 5, but I don't see 2 and 4 anywhere.
Yeah, that was my question.
I thought that
Oh,
said
wait,
that we
there's
didn't have
5.
that.
Yeah.
So there's 1, 3, and 5.
One was
1, 3, and 5
general
are
furniture.
Are all
They're
Hendrickson.
all Henderson.
Seating, but this
So
is
2 and
seating
4.
here.
Ryan, I received 3 attachments. They were contract 1, 3, and 5, but we didn't have any in the packet. So I don't know about the 2 and the 4.
Seating and custom furniture, those two.
Yeah, they should have been in the packet. Apparently they're not.
I don't think
No.
so.
Can we see them somehow now?
Yeah,
So on the back, on page 26 is package 2 and 4. Right?
Itemized ones we
But
don't
it's
have.
not.
It's not itemized.
It's not
Right,
itemized,
right,
right.
This is the 2, the one that they are
Yeah,
showing
that-
is the 2,
Right.
oh,
the one we
Well,
don't have it.
I marked that. I'm more confused now because it says on page 22, Enberg Anderson cannot provide a complete review of furniture packages 1, 3, and 5, but we
We just
do
got it.
have. Oh,
we
okay.
just got
Sorry,
it at our
this is-
place.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, not with the packet.
okay, that's why I'm
It
like,
was here at our place.
lost.
Right, so that's,
So 1, 3,
No.
and 5, yes, but not
We
2
have,
and
but
4.
2 and 4 we
We
still
don't
don't
have.
have.
So
Okay.
seating and custom furniture, we don't have.
actually,
Ryan
Sean,
is showing us
I don't think
2
we
and
did get. Looking back, I don't unless
You
it's a
want to go
separate email.
back
I can't find 2 and 4 either.
Okay. We did receive both those packages. I have them. I can open them. I have them right here. So what you're referring to, on Thursday of last week, we received some errors in packages 2, 1, 3, and 5, and asked them to make changes.
Okay.
And so we just got the revised ones in this morning.
And that's what
And
we had.
that's
in
what
That's
front
what
of
that's
us.
this was
what we
saying,
have.
some
Yeah, so those-
confusion in the
we've got the
process,
new ones.
right, okay.
New ones, but not 2
Yeah.
and 4, that's all.
I do have 2 and 4, and I can forward them to Ryan, or I mean, if you'd like.
Let's do
Yeah,
both.
can we look at them? Can you find them and show them on the screen so everyone can see them now, Sean?
Yeah. So I'm looking at forward spaces. Forward space is actually quite. It's not a huge. It's not a long one. This is
It's only
36.
we broke up
Can you
the
make it any
Brody
larger, please?
seating basically
Sorry.
into this package.
Can you make that full screen so we can see it?
Much better,
Perfect.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually,
So this one includes 3. I believe that's the quantity.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Three of this Brody type of chair. It includes another 3 of a different. We have 6 total. So one of them, they're back to back, but they're different.
Okay.
Like one's a left, one's a right, I believe.
okay.
And then it also included the material testing for the fabrics that we're going to put on the Brodies, and then the install labor.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's really all that is the Brody. This is the
And
Brody
6
package.
chairs.
Good.
Yeah, and the board might recall Brody is the piece of furniture that David Benjamuri loves, that they have at his Delta Sky Miles Lounge. That we saw. We also saw them at Fremont Public Library, and they got a lot of use. So
Um,
The
sorry,
Okay.
I just want to, can we go back to that last page? This is not a huge thing, but I just noticed that says 36,382.58, and in the packet it says 36,695.58.
Right, what you're not seeing in this is the bond.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, so the bond would be, sorry, I just clicked the wrong Zoom, but if I go back to their contract.
That's good looking out, Lauren. I can see future treasurer.
A lifetime of frugal purchases.
So they were contract 2. So yes, their bond was $363.
Thank you.
We asked them to itemize it out because if we don't, they forget it.
Okay.
So, and then LFI was contract 4. And let me figure out how to navigate again.
Much better.
Try to get to the good stuff. Okay, so their proposal was for contract 4, $126,809.59 plus their bond of $3,170. And then they do have their itemized costing, I believe, at the end here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom out because it's a little different format. I don't know. This might be the wrong. I might have opened the wrong one. Hold on. They also provided a proposal on
General furniture.
on different furnitures.
Yeah.
For you just let me make sure I have the right one open. Under Furniture International 129.
Good size.
Yep. Yeah. So they're providing the house, the TMC house structure, the theater structure, and they're providing the extra end panels for the project. No, they're not. They didn't win. They didn't win this. These are the different contracts that they're bidding on. I'll have to find the LFI one. This is not correct.
Okay.
Or maybe it's on the next page. It might be on the next page. LFI put multiple proposals in. Here's the proposal that they did. Okay. Sorry for that. So this is their contract. So they have, they're doing the book bins. These are the picture book bins. They have an adult credenza that we're doing for one of the service points. And they have end panels, type 1. There's an end panel, the book display with the metal end panels, metal book displays that go on the end. They have an end panel type 3, end panel type 2, end panel signage, end panel type 4. Based on the furniture, or based on the shelving that we're providing, we had to get some different sized end panels based on the size of the shelving. So that's why there's different types. There's a couple of discovery tables in the youth department. There's a few custom shelves that we needed to, I'm not 100% sure what this is for. I'd have to ask Casella. And then a youth OPAC cabinet for one of our OPACs. So this is the LFI package, and I will give this to Ryan.
129,979.
They were nice enough to add their bond at the end.
Well, you see it.
It'd be good if we have copies of that at some point. Paper copies.
Yeah, I will. You'll have to have them because you'll have to sign them. So I will make sure that Ryan gets them. Before I send you the LFI one, Ryan, I will make sure that we only have the package they want, so we don't have multiple packages in there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
So if I'm reading this right, we now need to award these contracts, correct? Because we need to go through and
And a contingency.
let me find, no. That'll work. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the motion for these because this is nice and complicated.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, Ryan sent, oh, Ryan even sent written out language. Thank you, Ryan. I will move that the board accept contract proposal for general furnishing submitted for contract 1 from Hickringson with bond for total amount of $255,594.41 as presented.
I'll second.
That was long.
Sorry.
Okay, let's have a roll call for this, please.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Alright, second one. I will move that the board accept proposal for seating submitted for contract 2 from Forward Space with bond for total amount of $36,695.58 as presented.
I'll second.
That's fine.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Alright. Third one. I will move that the board accept proposal for learning furniture submitted for contract 3 from Hickringson with bond for total amount of $138,634.56 as presented.
I'll second. Carrie. Costa Viro,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Alright. Contract 4. I will move that the board accept proposal for custom furniture submitted for contract 4 from Library Furniture International with bond for total amount of $129,979.83 as presented.
I'll second.
Those were my names.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
And then the fifth one, I will move that the board accept the proposal for book stacks submitted for contract 5 from Hickringson with bond for a total amount of $53,138.01 as presented.
I'll second.
Eager,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
And then I move that the board create a contingency for interior furniture project of the amount, sorry, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna move that the board create a contingency for the interior furniture project of the amount of $20,000 to be managed by the Warren Newport Public Library with assistance from Wnpl Anderson.
I'll second it.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Bogner,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Flores absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, I think that's all of it. And that 1 cent is very important, even though we don't have pennies anymore.
I was like, oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I want to say no just for that.
Stop.
You'll still have your quorum or your passing vote.
All right.
Well,
Let's
thank you. And I'm here if you have any last minute questions.
Thank you, Sean, and thanks to Acela as well. When we told Wnpl that we were moving the meeting up a week, they said we'll make sure this happens, and then they got thrown the curveball at the end when there was some errors on the submittal. So thank you, Sean, for getting this ready for us for tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let us move forward. New business, financial statements for December 2025. Any questions?
I had a couple. On page 27, where it says total revenue received in December, and then it says the December 2025 revenue is 50,464, lower than 99,000 received in December 2024. And then it says this increase is mainly due to taxes. Should that be decrease?
Should it be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an error.
Okay,
Decrease.
We'll get it fixed.
thank you. And the other question I had was on page 29, on the variance report, the line for capital equipment and furnishings. So that's at 95%. But that's a separate line than the renovation capital equipment and furnishings, correct? Or does that?
I would have to go in and look at the budget. I think I'm not sure. Let me find out and get back to you.
Okay,
Wendy.
because
I don't know. off the top of
because
my
if
head.
we are at 95%, there's no money left
over.
No,
anything
I'm
else.
pretty positive. No, there's other money in the special reserve fund for this project, but
Right.
some of that might be grouped together. So I need to get you a better
Okay,
answer.
thank you.
I think the
Sure.
the computation's off because it's looking at the yearly equipment rather than, because that doesn't make any sense at all. If you look at expected budget year to date,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
You're
expected
right.
budget year to date computation is going to be wrong because we're not spending this on a month to month basis.
right.
Right.
So you should be at like what?
Not 95%.
January, August, yes,
It's 6 months.
Yes, you should be halfway through,
Right.
Not 95.
but we're at 95% of half.
Yeah,
Of
I
half?
understand what you're
Is
saying.
that?
Yeah,
95%
total.
of half
of the half of
Oh,
year
percent
because
of
this is
year.
yeah. You're looking at and it's an Excel thing. It's just
Thank
an
you
Excel
for
computation. I looked at that one too when I looked at this and I realized what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sorry. I had two things marked on here. Staff training, cost of trainer higher than expected.
What page are you on?
Sorry,
Same
29
page.
still.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
same page, just third.
Is that
down.
like
I see.
something that is pre-negotiated? Well, like, I guess I don't really understand.
Why the trainer was more than we expected it to be?
Sure, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so when we go into the budget cycle, sometimes we're making some rough estimates based on what we see the trainers are going for, what we paid historically, that type of thing. And in this case, when we looked at the trainers, they were just charging more than we had allocated. It's just that simple. We just
Okay.
under budgeted.
It wasn't like a particular issue though. It was just like you said, just a
That expected budget line is the estimate
But-
that's
It,
put into the budget at the beginning of the year.
right.
and in some cases, like a database, for example, we know what the database is going to cost, so we put it in there. That's what's in the budget. But for something like staff development day, a trainer, those fees are variable, right? So they, we make it come under or over. We try to stay on budget.
Sure.
But in this case, to get someone that we wanted, I know she traveled from the St. Louis area. That might have been part of it. So
I think that was part of my question is like how
did it come up to be more
well,
than you
no,
thought?
just like how
Just sign a contract.
necessary was it? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, are you choosing the highest priced one? Is that just the going rate? Is that, you know what I mean? Was just curious about it in general. And that answers my questions. I'm not concerned about it. I
Okay.
just was curious.
Sure. Okay.
And then anticipated refund of 83.45 due to incorrect rates charged in the past.
That was
Yeah.
last month too.
Yeah.
So,
What's going on there?
yeah, I don't know anything about,
So that's liability insurance, so.
like,
why
who
the
manages
last
that
2
contract,
years,
why
yeah.
were things
Or 2
overcharged,
months, right?
is it an issue that's gonna continue, just general questions. How would you know
Let
that
me
you were
get-
overcharged on your insurance?
Let me get some more details from Doug. That's a good question.
I mean, I'm glad that we're getting the money
Yeah,
back,
same.
but you know what I mean, it's like,
That was on last month too.
So did we lose some employee? I mean, I'm just curious
It's just
why.
weird, yeah.
No, it's a good question. I don't have the answer right now, but I will get you an answer.
okay, that's all.
Any other questions on the financial statements? If not, can we have a motion to accept them?
I move that we approve the monthly financial statements for December 2025 as presented.
I'll second.
Let's get a roll call for this, please.
Sutton,
Aye.
Flores, absent, Hamilton,
Aye.
Costa Viro,
Aye.
Eager,
Aye.
Buckner,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, if you will turn to page 84, or even better, pull out the color-coded version that was at your desk.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, I think the one that's in your packet is incorrect anyway. I think that's from a year ago.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Oh.
That did look like last year's.
Yeah, so we had a little a little miscommunication. So you should have in front of you the correct version. So welcome to we're really starting kicking off the budget cycle for FY 26-27. And the first step in February is always for us to take an initial pass or look at potential capital projects. And when I say potential, I mean potential because some of these things we'll end up not pursuing this fiscal year. Some of these things will, when we have a new 10-year capital plan and we look at where we're at, we'll be like, yeah, we really can't afford to do this. We better push it down a couple of years, that type of thing. So this is very much the first step in the budget process. So we'll try to address some of your questions, concerns tonight. We'll have more information next month. And then, by April, we'll have a look at the full budget. But we start with the capital projects. These are predominantly facilities and IT projects. So I don't know if we want to go through line by line. Does that make sense? I think, some of these are. Yeah, so I don't know. How do we want to approach this, George? Do you want to go through line by line, or
This is a small enough list. Let's go line by line. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so site lighting, this is, and I might ask Katie to jump in because she's had some detailed meetings with both Miguel and Smruthi on these items. But this is in the color coding at the top. Green recommended. We really feel like we need to do it. Yellow, it's a maybe. Blue, a project for future fiscal years. Pink, it's something that maybe we've actually tackling it now. And then gray is something that's lingered for a while that we just want to continue to discuss. For whatever reason, we've continued to push that project down the road. So site lighting is a blue. So
Site
we feel.
lighting,
Go ahead, Katie.
Miguel feels we've changed some sensors outside to enhance the lighting, but we don't feel that we need to replace those this year. They're working fine. We've changed bulbs. We've changed some sensors so they come on at a certain time or buy the lighting outside. So we don't feel it's a project we need to do right now.
Programming vehicle is the same. We've kind of talked about this. We're still getting some data. I think we're okay with the vehicles that we have right now, but something we want to keep on our radar where we think we may need it in the future. So just don't want to lose sight of it. The variable frequency drives. Katie, you want to talk about that?
This is, more dealing with the boiler. That's gonna be always a cost repair possible every year that we just need to keep it up to date. That's a big investment that is always gonna need some money set aside, for these repairs.
Yeah, I think we actually talked about this last year. The same with the domestic hot water generation. Whereas I think that I guess we decided not to do them. Is that
Correct.
Kate, do you have any more
These-
insight into
these
that
were-
one, the domestic hot water generation?
Yeah, these were both on last year's. Obviously, I wasn't here, but Miguel felt at the time we didn't need to spend the money last year, so now we're revisiting again, and we really should invest in it because we have put it off. Everything's working fine, but we want to get ahead of it before it breaks down, and then it's a bigger cost.
That was just gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the piece that says might have been addressed when we rebuilt the boiler, do we know that, or was it? And then we're still just keeping it going, is that the idea?
I do not know if it was addressed when we rebuilt the boiler.
Okay,
So yeah, Miguel is investigating still, correct?
Yes.
okay.
So we'll know more next month.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Building mechanical and electrical, emergency generator, overall allowance. This was identified in that 20. So for those board members that don't know, I should back up for a second. The February 2023 capital needs assessment, we hired an outside firm to come through and look at our facility, and basically they wrote they developed this report. I think it's a 20-year report, and they go through and they say, we think in this year you're going to do this and that, and so we may want to consider doing this again next calendar year, but I would say every 3 to 5 years you want to do one of these capital needs assessments, and it's not like set in stone. These are just recommendations. So every year we look at like, okay, what are we supposed to do this year, and then we decide, okay, maybe we don't need to do that this year. And what Miguel is suggesting is the emergency generator, even though in the capital needs assessment there is this overall allowance, that we don't think we need to do it this year.
Correct. So we just had an inspection last week of the generator system, and so we do not need to revisit it at this time.
great.
Everything was great
Everything's working.
with that.
Okay.
Similar to that, the next one down, the emergency panel. That one is we have an inspection coming up in April, but the last inspection that we had, they said your panel is starting to go. It's time to start talking about replacement. In that capital needs plan that Ryan's talking about from 2023, it's saying our system could make it to 2030,
Right.
but we're at the point where they're suggesting during inspections that we start to replace it. So that is a
Yeah,
very
it's
big
only like
investment,
4
but we're
years
also
away.
talking about fire panels, smoke
Yeah,
detection,
yeah, we're
all of
gonna
that.
take
It's
a risk on that one.
a needed thing. We don't want to wait for that to go out.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
if
one of
they're
those ones that
doing
they
the
say
new-
you got to do it. You got to do it.
I was
Unfortunately,
gonna say,
and I know it's a
especially
big
if
one,
they're
but
doing the new renovations.
That's the part. You know what?
That's it.
Don't know.
Yes.
There's no point in
The
Yeah.
McQuay air handler, I can speak to that one too right now. There are some parts on there that need to be replaced. We can do some of that. Miguel thinks we can do half of that now with money we have left over in this budget year. So that will probably change from 8,000 to 4,000 for next year, because we do have some money left in maintenance that we could apply to that this year. But again, those are regular upkeep, like changing out belts.
Right.
yeah. And the McQuay air handler, the big McQuay unit, that covers the meeting rooms and also a lot of most of the staff space, if not all of it. Just to give you some context. So when we did the HVAC project, those board members that were on the board, we didn't touch the McQuay unit at the time. That's why it's a bit of an outlier.
Front lobby doors. This is kind of we have some options here. We looked into getting not the doors replaced because the doors themselves are in good condition. It's the mechanicals that when you come in the front door, sometimes over time salt gets in there and just the motors run out from the opening and closing. So what we would like to do this year is replace all the mechanicals, because we have had some issues with they don't open all the way or they get stuck, and we go in there, we clean them out. When we had the quiet reading room door and the Coco's doors done this year, we had the same guy go and take a look at that and look at all the mechanicals and give us a quote for replacing both of those. What we could also do with that, and Miguel and I have talked about, is we can do the exterior door. That's the one we're most concerned about, obviously, and kind of break this into two projects if we wanted to as well, and do exterior and then the interior at a different time.
I think we have carpeting in here because it is one of those things that's identified in the capital needs assessment. It's kind of an interesting time to look at carpeting because obviously we're getting some new carpeting with our big renovation. One of the things that we had talked about, and there's some other projects in here as well that tie into this, is the lobby. Because one of our thoughts was to there's that counter in the lobby where the self checkouts used to be on the one side, to pull that out, and maybe do some carpet in the lobby, and then maybe create a public art display. I think one of the things that we found success with is different artists in our community coming in and displaying public art. So that I think that this is very much in the preliminary stages, and I think a lot of this has to do with will tie into what our capital budget looks like. But we were thinking with now that we're getting the ceiling, even though this is beyond the scope of the current renovation project, would it make sense to make a small investment in carpeting in the lobby and also creating a display for public art as kind of a nice way to enter the library after the renovation. But this is very, very preliminary, but we wanted to mention it. Katie, was there anything else that you and Miguel talked about in terms of carpeting in other areas? Or was this primarily an idea perhaps for the lobby?
Yeah, we don't have any pricing on this. This was just an idea for the lobby walkway, the vestibule entrance, and the cafe, if we could. And then yes, if we could, since we are lightening up the lobby, removing the red ceiling, looking at that one wall where we have the darker pictures, the darker wood countertop, and if we pulled all that out and really lightened that whole wall up and could use that as the rotating.
That's the south wall, right?
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. So we'll try to get some more pricing if it's something the board wants us to explore. I think since we have the ability to do the demo in house, I think we could maybe do this somewhat economically, but we'll see what our capital projects look like. But this is just an idea in terms of since we're going to already have partially the lobby done with the ceiling, could we enhance it more and maybe time it where it would be maybe, if we're ambitious enough, ready for the grand ribbon cutting, but that's just an idea at this point. Insulation along the meeting room wall bordering parking lot, identified as needed by staff. Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward there. There is no insulation there, so I think we need to get some more data before we talk about that further. Does Miguel have any idea, Katie, on costs on that or anything?
No, we have not. We just started with it having been so cold. These kind of insulation issues have popped up down in the meeting rooms along that wall, and if you go into where we store the tables and chairs, we just had an AV unit put in. It's very cold back in there, and there is no insulation, so we're constantly trying to keep those meeting rooms warm. The same thing with we put in here the bathrooms when you first come in the entryway, the family room and the women's room, public restrooms specifically, are very cold. We've had several patron complaints in going into the family room to change a baby, how cold it is in there, because it's that kind of exposed brick wall. So again, something we need to get numbers on.
Yeah. Resurfacing parking lots, something we do regular maintenance probably isn't something we should skip, but we could. Meeting room tables and chairs. One of the goals in our strategic plan is to, you have the public utilize that space more, and I really strongly feel that in order to do that, ideally it would be good to get tables and chairs that are easy for the public to move, and meaning all ages. We have senior groups that want to go and use that space, and right now those tables and chairs, they just can't move those around, and it would be good for that space to be able to be booked and used by the public without staff intervention. So that's the thinking there. So we want to get some numbers and just see what that would look like. And in addition, the tables and chairs we have in there are, I think they're probably towards end of life. I mean, we've had them for a long time. Yeah. So, and then the vape set. Did we talk about the vape sensors yet? I think we're still kind of investigating. We do encounter that a lot, unfortunately, with people vaping in the restrooms. So that's something we're at least discussing.
I didn't even know it was a thing, but I love it.
So the high school has them, and they can tie into your security system so that when the teens are in there vaping, security gets an alert and then can go address it.
Or an electric shock.
Unfortunately, it's really hard to police the vaping because you don't see it. They're in the bathroom.
Yeah, no. And just,
I love it.
It's one of those things
let's
we
not advertise
just
we're doing it.
talk
No,
about.
exactly.
No, but I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, whoops. Who knew?
No, I wasn't.
And then I see
All
the
right.
next one on here is public bathroom heaters,
Yeah.
probably in concert
Heated
with the
seats.
insulation.
Yeah.
So would we save on heat if we did the insulation and the heaters?
Instead of the heaters in the public.
Well,
bathroom.
probably
No, I
both.
mean, overall, maybe we
I
could
would-
use that as an offset.
I would think so.
Could use
But
it
I
as an
think
I
we're
mean,
offset.
still very early on this, yes?
Very early.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just,
And honestly,
Good
you're
luck.
not hopefully in the bathroom that long. It's kind of low priority.
you shouldn't.
Yes.
I'm
But if you're
always
vaping,
freezing
that's
cold,
why.
and I never
Well,
noticed
look at
being cold
me.
in there,
Oh,
which is shocking.
Yeah.
That's why when you're like, we've heard a lot, I'm like, oh, every time I literally never.
And look at me.
I never.
Yeah, like not.
It's like 900 degrees in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Not in the
but
bathroom, so it really.
Yeah,
get cold.
it's chance.
Especially in that cold snap we had. in
Yeah,
January,
absolutely.
Or nobody is from our houses. Except you.
Okay, so I know we only allocated 15 minutes, but we have to, can we run through the IT projects really
Yeah,
fast?
IT projects.
Access control system, that is something we've talked about for a little bit. We do have some doors that are not on the badge system, so if we were to upgrade that, we would want to go with the same system that we use for our security cameras so that everything's tied together.
How important is that? I mean, in the grand scheme, like if they're
Everything works fine right now. We have the oddball doors that don't have the
right.
access
But those
badge.
doors aren't like needing to be
Nope.
locked for anything. Okay.
They have keypads instead
Oh,
of
okay.
access badges. So
Where it comes into play though is in an emergency. The
Oh,
staff would
yeah.
like to swipe something instead of having to put in the number.
And if you're
Because
nervous
your brain
and
goes
you're
blank.
yeah.
If-
Okay.
yeah. So it's come up a number of
It would-
times when we're
okay.
talking about
Yeah,
emergency situations.
It would definitely need to happen if we started to talk about moving the makerspace.
Okay.
So something to get.
Yeah, so
numbers
something
on.
we'll definitely keep on the radar and see if we can afford, once we have the bigger picture of what the overall budget looks like, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, if we had to push it, we could, but yeah, I mean, I think for staff safety and the staff would feel really good if we had complete access control on the doors with the fobs. So, it would be good to do if we can.
Access points.
Go ahead, Kate.
Yep, access points. Obviously, after construction and all the new furniture, we had our Wi-Fi upgraded, but we need to have new access points put in so that we can get the Wi-Fi in all areas of the library. Security cameras, this was something we did budget for this year, but we did not complete due to construction because we wanted to wait until everything was completed. completed and the new furniture was in and the layout changed. So that is something we will need to relook at after construction. Replacement of the internet row switches, that is already happening, so that can be checked off.
Does this area of Gurney have fiber optic?
No.
I don't think so.
So we have really low, I was looking in the other ones.
We have internet access here. We have gigabit internet that we just upgraded to.
Oh, it's a
Literally,
gigabit.
that was in our.
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
packet.
You
Okay.
can't get faster than that easily.
Okay.
We're looking into new catalog computers, so we're sourcing pricing on those to replace the older catalog station computers. The outdoor locker, that is also something we had in last year's budget. We did not move forward with it. We went forward with the laptop vending kiosk, and we looked at some options for outdoor lockers, but we put that on hold. So we have or will have 3 quotes very soon, and we'd like to look at the outdoor locker again once we get that 3rd quote. Virtual server replacements. Smriti can probably speak to that more if you have questions, but she is getting pricing on those. Library-wide AI service. So this is something we also want to discuss this year. It was a suggestion from OSG. So right now people are using different AI agents like Copilot, Claude. This would give everybody access to multiple AI agents, and the whole staff would then have be able to pick and choose which one they use. And then laptops for the laptop vending kiosk. We do have the laptops ready to go for the laptop vending kiosk. However, they are old, a little outdated laptops. So this is just being prepared that if we do get a lot of usage once we launch that, that we will need to have money to start to replace those if they become very popular, which we hope they do. And then meeting rooms upgrade part 2. So in your packet you read about, we did complete part 1 of the meeting room upgrade. So we have a new panel in there, new microphones, makes it easy for staff and patrons to use. But our next step would be to replace the projector and the PA amps that announce throughout library, like closings or emergencies. Again, we can split that project into 2. It doesn't need to be done at once.
Is it still economical to look at a projector, or does it begin to make more sense to look at large flat panel instead?
Everyone's looking at screen, they can see.
How much you want to stagger the expenses with the current expenses? Because once we go for that large panel, it will turn out to be a really big project compared to what we are doing in facility. I mean, it'll take money. So it depends. If you want us to look into it, I can.
I'm just wondering because the prices are pretty stagnant for projectors, and they're coming down fast for large flat panels.
If you're open to it, I'm totally up for it. But the problem is, even for the phase 1, it went a little over budget and it had to be postponed for a year.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
I'm just wondering which one would actually be cheaper.
Do you want me to get some pricing to look at, or?
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, we can look at it. We could at least get some quotes and kind of get a ballpark idea what we're looking at. Sure.
Okay.
Can't hurt.
Okay, other questions, comments, concerns? Like I said, this is the first look. There's still more data that we're collecting, but this gives you an idea. So obviously compared to this fiscal year where we're doing a big renovation project, not so bad. But you can see there's still, some significant capital projects, we'll be diving into in 26, 27.
All right, let's move on to item C. policy 3015.
Right. Let me get back on page 90. Yes. I think the only differences were the date. We changed the date, and then we also changed the mission statement. Is that right?
The library reconciliation.
That's right. The reconciliation form. That's right. But otherwise, there wasn't anything in. Yeah, on page 90.
Oh, yeah.
So on these dates, are they the ones at the top?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you're
February
thinking of-
10th, yeah, there was nothing else.
No substantive changes.
No, not at all.
All right. Do we have a motion for this one?
Yeah, I'll motion, if you like, that, the library board approve the board policy 3015 materials selection as presented.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Policy 3035. Page 1.
And again, there are just minimal, non-substantial types of changes. The date, and also in Article 1, changing it to Illinois Public Library standards from serving our public.
I know, I was like, I lost it. Here we go.
101, yeah, we got it.
Look, I'm like,
It was
Yeah.
additional. It was additional.
So again, no substantive changes in
Again.
this one. Do you have a motion for this one?
I'll motion that the board approve board policy 3035, reference and readers advisory services as presented.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. All right. Let's take a look at page 103, our staff manual, the smoking policy. Yes, there are changes, but the changes are adding specificity, I think. If anyone has any questions or concerns.
Was the last sentence, and within 15 feet of any entrance, was that changed? Exit window or ventilation intake? Is that added, or is that?
That looks like it was added.
That was added.
Added.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a recommended addition based on I think it was an HR source sample policy. So Jen
Okay.
suggested we put that in, that specificity, that within 15 feet. So
Yeah.
And I think generally it's 10 feet.
I mean, we don't allow smoking anywhere on the grounds at all.
Right.
Wait, time out. By who? Anybody?
Anybody.
Oh, I just saw a guy smoking on the,
You're
that's
not
why I was
supposed to.
curious.
Where?
So they
Just in the parking lot.
Oh, in the parking lot.
But that's why when,
yeah,
I didn't know that it was literally no grounds at all.
You'll notice on the second to the last line, the buildings and grounds, which includes the parking lot and cars
Cars
parked
parked
in
in
the
the
parking lot.
Okay.
So no smoking in the
Wait,
cars.
but now I'm confused. This is the staff guidelines.
It is.
But
it is.
Separate
patron-
guideline for patrons.
Oh, thank you. Which includes all grounds?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And cars?
Yeah, that's in our standards of public conduct.
Okay.
Is that posted somewhere in the parking lot?
It is not. We should probably think about that though.
Hmm.
I mean, he was far away. He was way
Yeah.
out, like.
Out the other end.
But like, I mean, if I was a smoker, it wouldn't occur to me not to do that in my car in a parking.
Totally.
you
That's
know?
what he
That's
was.
why
I
I
think
was
he
like, is
walking
there a
from,
sign?
like, over by that daycare, and got like close to the
Oh,
sidewalk.
over here.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
got close to the sidewalk and like just threw,
Okay.
threw out a cigarette. But I had
There's only like
never thought of it.
4 houses between the high school and the library.
Well, and really, who's policing that? Are we gonna send?
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be careful
Yes.
about what we.
But I still think
Knock,
it's worth
knock on the
a
window.
sign somewhere for someone else, so we can't say that, well, it wasn't posted anywhere.
Yeah, they might not know.
We'll take a note of that for another meeting. But yeah, because that's not in this policy. But
Yeah, this is for staff.
Okay.
this is the staff
Okay.
policy.
This
for
policy.
Good
Staff
point.
policy, okay.
For discussion.
So,
So
any
we have
questions or
across the street
concerns
from
about the
police
staff policy?
office.
A lot of specific types of smoking devices.
Yes, well, you know, we,
There's a lot of different ones.
And
That's why I'm like,
I
wow,
like the-
I know, I'm like.
I'm like
That's
the
in the
e-hookah. Is it like like
I've never heard of most of these either, but that's okay. I don't have to. Somebody has, and so they're in here.
Herbal products.
I like the e-hookahs. How do you do that through
I don't want to know.
virtual? I don't know.
This is
E-cigarettes.
fascinating.
e-hookahs.
Maybe we should get a tutorial
I
on all
think
this.
No.
All
Love
right.
grounds.
I will move that the board approve personnel policy 505 smoking as presented.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
I really
That
find
carries.
that funny. An e-hookah.
All right.
E-hookah.
Emergency closings on page 104. A lot of rewrites in this one, mostly focusing on guiding staff to our new electronic systems instead of whatever we were doing before.
It has to be a text tree. We got rid of that. So now we have the
text
system where we
tree?
notify everyone at once. So, and we put emergency notification system because that way if we ever change, we don't want to like
Yeah.
attach it to the brand that we use. So hopefully we future proof this a little bit.
Yeah.
Any questions on this, anyone? If not, then I will move that the board approve personnel policy 510 emergency closings as presented.
I'll second.
That was,
Either one.
we'll go with Caroline for this one.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Okay. You will see a list of items for the next agenda meeting for our March regular meeting.
That's March 17th. 16th, Monday. 16th,
We
Monday.
moved it because of
March
the
16th.
election.
Oh,
We have
that's
3-3
right.
and
So we're coming
3/16, right?
Before the day
Yes.
before.
3,
3, yeah, I was
We'll be
thinking the
meeting for our
committee of the
committee of the
whole
whole
is
as
the 3rd.
usual,
Uh-huh.
Right.
but our March regular meeting has been moved up one day due to the change in Illinois law.
3/16.
Right.
Okay.
So not the 17th. Why do I
This-
still have it on? I know we-
Have to have a
And so it's on
meeting.
Monday
I
instead.
swear every year, either my husband or I have a board meeting on my birthday.
Is that
Is
your
that the
birthday?
16th?
March 3rd.
Oh, March 3rd.
Usually they're his board meetings. But
All
I'm like,
right.
"Where's my
And
schedule?"
if nothing else to add, let's move on to public forum. Does anyone wish to address the board in public forum? Hearing none?
Oh, I was going to say I visited the Waukegan Library and was quite impressed. I saw their makerspace and their little magnetic board after Ryan presented at the Friends. They had one of those magnetic boards, Ryan, but not as pretty as the one that you had. Theirs was on, but it's a similar, the same thing that they had in there, and I was quite impressed. I thought it was cool. So.
All right, let's move on to announcements. You'll notice your announcements on page 3. Our Friends of the Library book sale is this weekend. Be there or be square.
Or send 3 people if you can't come.
And it's 10 a.m. till 2? Is that right? Is it start at 10 a.m. till
Yes.
2 o'clock?
So
Yeah.
nobody
And
should be doing
cash.
anything Valentine's.
We would
that
like you
morning.
to bring cash or check. I guess they take check.
That's
Yeah, but
No.
No, like-
No little square
Yeah.
swipe.
Not yet.
Not yet, what?
no.
Caroline asked if they accept.
Square swipe.
Oh, no.
you know.
We're working on it. It's,
Yeah.
it's a slow adoption, but we're working on it.
And things are priced per item, correct?
Mm.
Because I read something, I don't know if it was Grace Lake, I can't remember which library, but they have bring a bag and $5 for as many things as you can put in the bag.
Oh.
But this person was really not happy because resellers, I guess, come and they grab
yeah.
everything off the table.
We did
Go
that a
sit-
couple of sales ago.
Yeah, I didn't know if we
especially
ever,
with
ever thought about it. but I thought,
CDs
"Gee,
and
We
that
used
you
to
could
do
get
that for like the last
Terrible.
hour
Mhm.
or
15, yeah.
yeah,
well,
where it's
they
like
did
you
that with
come in the
CDs,
last
you could
hour,
get
whatever you can
15
fill up.
CDs for $10. And I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well,
But,
this was
you
just
know,
like bags.
But
and
we
then they
did
just
have,
resell it online, and I thought,
Yeah.
that's not right.
and we do get resellers that come in.
You do. Okay.
We did have a sale, buy two, get one free of our
Yeah.
children books and things, and some of them were buy one, get one free, depending.
Yeah.
So they
I just
do
thought
have
this
a
whole
little
bag
bit
full
like
for
that.
$5 sounded like such a good deal
Right.
until this woman said, not really.
Yeah.
You know.
$10 maybe.
Yeah.
What
I
would
don't know.
Yeah.
like
But yeah,
to-
it was. I think there's been a couple of fundraisers that we've had where like the last hour or half hour, it's we give you the bag though, so you know how much
Well, I
it
was just
holds,
gonna say, they,
Yeah.
and
we
fill up
we
the
were
bag.
selling
Yeah.
children's
yeah, you don't
books.
wanna,
No, but
we don't want.
It's like
One
here's a
thing-
jewel bag you can use, like
Yeah,
not
no,
a
Yeah.
what we
Big bag.
were pushing, thanks to Becky Costinus,
Yeah.
but
Bless
and
you.
others, but the Friends membership in the Friends of the Library, it's only $5 a year,
Oh.
and it's a good fundraise for extra money for the library, and they can, everybody is welcome to the meetings when they come like that, and they can have their say. So
There you
$5,
go.
that's pretty good, But anyway, so
Anyway, I just thought it,
All
I
right.
just read it this week and I'm like, that's not a good deal.
but
And then,
the
of
Friends
course,
are doing good.
starting Tuesday next week, our library will be closed for construction.
I know.
Yeah.
3 days,
Well, yeah.
3 days.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
17,
Thursday.
18, and then after that, 12 o'clock openings,
Yes.
right?
I had a question about that. So the board meeting, during phase 3, will they be here or will they be somewhere else?
Oh, you mean this room or a different room?
Well, or in the library?
Yeah. I believe tentatively we are still in this room,
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
unless something changes.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted, but yeah,
Okay.
that's the tentative plan for now.
Okay, thanks.
Although with any construction project, something
You
can
never
go
know.
sideways, and
Right.
you never know. Something goes sideways.
It'd be weird if it didn't.
It'll be daylight savings by then. We'll probably have a lot of lights, so
All right, if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
You can second it.
One second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? We are adjourned at 8:17.
Good job.